So what's up? FTLIVE getting a little hotter. Stove it went from
bubbling,
frozen ice to right now what? Bubbling? That's a good term. I'll take that. Kratz, you got anything
simmering?
else? Not simmering. That's too much. That would be like Ohtani just signed and then others.
There's certain reporters that keep just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's sticking, like no matter what it is. Like, oh, the Juan Soto trade is going to heat up. Oh, Ohtani's close. No shit.
Weeks ago, Dylan Cease is about to get traded.
Give me details.
Can I say the word tepid? Is it tepid?
Yeah, that's a good one. Tepid.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, starting to feel it. All right, so before we get into the first trade that we'll break down, I do want to emphasize that if you have questions for us, we will answer them later today, either on this show or on Foul Territory YouTube channel this evening. We'll be on around 7 o'clock Eastern. If Soto decides to get traded, not that it's up to him at like 6:30, maybe we'll come on a little sooner, but keep an eye out for that. And also I've told people if they have questions that they don't get to somewhere, you can send them to Foul Territory's Instagram. So I will show you an example of that. Muhammad sent us a question yesterday saying, if Ohtani picks the Jays, do you not think it's a better legacy to win a World Series for a whole country? He's more likely to go down as the GOAT. No? You think he's more of a GOAT? Kratz is shaking his head yes. In Toronto than he would be in LA?
In LA? He's just another piece. He's just another cog in the system. And maybe that's what he wants to be, is just another cog. But you go to Toronto and win a World Series there, you know, AJ, you win a World Series anywhere that is starved for a World Series, you become a legend. A legend. Well, of course. He would become a legend for the whole country. And that value, whatever it is now, like $23.5 million, the last thing I read, his off-field value, not including contracts, just his marketability for the team. Yes, that legend will grow, as will that number.
Yeah. I think we just want to see him go somewhere at this point and hear something.
Like, he's definitely going to go somewhere.
But I just want to hear something concrete. Like, we know he was in Dunedin. We know he met with the Dodgers. Thank you, Dave Roberts, for saying it. And I know you got blasted by your GM, which I don't understand why they can't be on the same page. But thank you, Dave Roberts, for saying it.
He broke the code of silence.
You're not allowed to talk
He's a villain.
about Ohtani. I love it, dude. Screw that, dude. Dave Roberts, you're awesome.
I agree. And we'll talk more about that coming up.
Just awful.
Let's do the trade first.
Don't talk about Ohtani Club.
We're not in it. Trust me. Let's do the typical Yankees Red Sox deal for charge the mound right now.
Happens all the time.
Casual Alex Verdugo heading over to the New York Yankees for not one, not two, but 3 right-handed pitchers. You want to read the names for us, Kratz, of who's going over to Boston?
Yeah, Greg Weisser, Richard Fitz, and Nicholas Justice.
Isn't it Dick Fitz?
Judas. Nicholas Judas. There's something in that name that I just can't figure out.
Richard, he might stab you in the back, that Judas guy.
Judas.
Anyway, did you see
Fitz
this
had a nice year. Fitz had a good year.
Yeah. He's the Eastern League pitching prospect. Of the year. Red Sox need pitching. We're going to talk in a little, about 12 minutes, to Gabrielle Starr, who covers the Red Sox every day, about the Boston side. So let's dive into the Yankees component, and then we'll spend plenty of time on Boston. Okay. Number one, they need left-handed bats, maybe some more contact, need outfield. We'll get to Soto too. Aaron Judge, is he a corner? Is he in center field? Do we like Verdugo in general? What do you think of what the Yankees do here? I mean, we're surprised. This one kind of came out of nowhere for most people, in addition to it being the Red Sox, because everyone's focused on Soto and Rumor City going on. And they're like, oh, actually, we need multiple outfielders. So let's grab this one too. For me personally, if they end up getting Soto and it's Judge in center field and it's Verdugo in another corner, for me, that's not my ideal defensive outfield. I know you can get away with things in a smaller outfield, a smaller right field at Yankee Stadium, but we'll show you in a moment the defensive metrics for those 3 players. I also just don't love 150 games out of Aaron Judge in center field. Not that he'd get to that point, but a significant chunk of games in center field for Judge, right? You got to clog up the DH spot with guys like Giancarlo for when he's healthy. Dominguez eventually comes back. So I don't know. I don't love him in center. I'd rather judge long-term. That's my long-term asset in a corner. You?
Well, even if they get Soto, though, the judge is going to have to play center.
That's my point. He's the everyday center. They said they'd be okay with him playing everyday center field.
For me, that's too much wear and tear on his body and too much just wear and tear on him in general. You'd rather have him play a smaller right field in Yankee Stadium where he's very comfortable, not having to move, run as much. Center field, people, you have to back up both sides of your infielders, your outfielders. There's a lot more running that happens in a center fielder than it does in a corner outfielder, and a lot more responsibility. Not the judge can't handle it, but man, I'd much rather have him at a corner spot. But listen, Verdugo to me, gosh, he was traded for Mookie Betts, right? And he came over to the Red Sox, and he had a good first year. The last couple of years have been, last few years have been kind of up and down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got in some trouble last year for being late and not running balls out. So listen, I don't know enough about the minor league guys they got, and one of them's pitching in the big leagues. Weiser, did you say a Weiser?
Yeah,
yep.
Weiser.
Weiser pitched a little bit in the major leagues last year,
not great
last couple of years,
yet.
but I mean, listen, was this a dump by the Red Sox? Like they're like, we don't really want you, Verdugo, so we can get something back for you, because everyone says Richard Fitz is kind of the prize of this trade. I don't know.
It's not a dump if you're getting. They need pitching.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they
Verdugo.
also could. What I meant, I don't mean a dump. Sorry, that's a harsh word. What I meant was they found somebody that would take Verdugo off of their hands and also giving something back they value, which is 3 pitchers. So it's not really a dump. Sorry, that's
a Mariners word.
Yeah, sorry, that was the wrong word. I apologize. For
Angels
that,
too.
Yeah, true. But you know what I'm saying, Kratz? Like, how much of this was okay? We don't really value Verdugo as much as maybe the Yankees do. But the funny part was, we talked about this before the show. If they use Verdugo, trade him to San Diego to get Soto, man, Red Sox fans are going to be pissed.
Thanks for your help.
Yes, I would be here for that. Absolutely. Like the fact that could happen. But I think a lot of people are going to remember Chaim Bloom coming in, and his first order of business, he completed it, was trade Mookie Betts because ownership told him to, and they weren't going to pay Mookie Betts because he wouldn't have been a great cornerstone for your team. And now Craig Breslow is going to come in, and his first move is going to be let Alex Cora get rid of the one player that he may have been a little bit bristly with here in the last few years. And maybe we're reading too much into a guy showing up late, a guy who the manager mentioned put on weight. Yes, he said it was trying to hit with more power. Benintendi did the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of times that his name came up, and I don't remember a lot of I'm not a huge Red Sox fan, following what's going on, but I don't remember a lot of other guys getting called out by their World Series winning manager in Alex Cora. And Verdugo's been the brunt of quite a few of them. Warranted or not, this could have been not Craig Breslow's first move as GM, but Alex Cora's first move as GM / manager.
The Yankees, though, feel like he's a prize. And Aaron Boone spoke about how they've been on Verdugo's case for years. Not easy for those two teams to pull off a trade, but here's Booney.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. He's actually been a guy that we've talked about now for a while, and we're finally able to get something done there. He's been a guy that done some things against us. I think he's a really good two-way player. Defends well in the corners, and obviously really good bat to ball, left-handed. I feel like there's an edge he plays the game with. So I'm excited about this. Like I said, it's been a guy that we've kind of tried in the past, and to be able to get it done, I'm pretty happy about it.
So my question is, there's 2 things about this comments. One, Aaron Boone, I mean, he's not really like, oh, I'm so excited. But what's he supposed to say? He's supposed to be like, yeah, we got a player. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's got some hits against us. Go team.
He was up till 4 a.m. last night.
Doing what?
Hanging out with the team. Team bonding session.
My bad.
I don't know.
He's probably tired.
And
then second of all, I'm tired of this whole thing. But Second of all, I
Hope
want to
so.
be the quarter zip rep because every guy that talks at these meetings has the quarter zip on. So every GM, every manager, they all have the button-up shirt with the quarter zip on.
Baseball managers and front office members are not known for their fashion.
I know, but I want to be the quarter zip rep next year at the winter meetings, wherever they are. I'm just going to go in there and have quarter zips for sale, and I'll sell out in 5 minutes.
You would? Yeah.
Quarter zip's the new collared shirt. Scouts are wearing quarter zips all the time. Collared shirt, they're trying to bang it. You know, golf pants instead of khakis. They go with the smaller Oakleys now instead of when you were getting recruited by the MLB. They had the huge Oakleys. The two comments that I have, he is going to react completely different when they get Juan Soto for just cause. Verdugo is not a game changer for this team. The second comment I have is he's standing behind. I love the fact that a major league manager is standing in front of minor league logos behind him, which the whole winter meetings was supposed to be a minor league logo thing. And my third comment, Alex Verdugo got traded to a team that he got in a fight with a fan in left field climbing up over the wall with after a dude threw a ball at him. How's that going to go over for Yankee fans?
Well, that fan needs to apologize immediately if that fan didn't do
there
so
you go.
already.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, that's unacceptable.
Is it unacceptable?
At his head, that dude should be in prison.
It's like the pizza. Remember when they threw the pizza in Boston?
Yeah, except pizza versus a baseball. Imagine if someone threw a baseball at you in the outfield, like chucked a baseball
first of all,
at
I
your
wouldn't
head.
be in the outfield, so
I understand, but I'm doing a hypothetical. You
He's
played.
role playing. He's role playing, Kratz.
And it was really near COVID in 2021. What if the guy had like coughed on the ball and he hit Verdugo and gave him
and he
COVID?
got COVID.
Oh,
Smacked him in the head pretty good.
Who was it?
Pretty pissed.
Steph Epstein wrote the article about how all GMs and dress all the same.
Yep.
It's true. They all wear the quarter zips. Now managers are in on it.
They're not leading the league in fashion. Wait, I want to spend.
Listen, I love a quarter zip,
Yeah.
especially playing golf when it's a little chilly. I'd rather have a hoodie, but some places frown upon hoodies, so quarter zip is always the right answer.
Can I get your take on Judge? I guess you mentioned it already too, or Kratz maybe. Let's show this Mike Petriello tweet about the Yankees defense. Outs above average, which I like. I mean, obviously, D metrics are not perfect, and they're behind O metrics. But Verdugo in the corners is a -4. Judge is a +2 in center. Soto is a -16 in the corners. And he said you could probably get around it with an elite defender off the bench, like a different brand of Harrison Bader or Trent Grisham, if that ends up happening with the Padres. But it would be an issue. Your thoughts on that defensive alignment? And I'll reiterate that my concern is there a little on that front, because also you do play half your games in other ballparks. Some are bigger. But my concern also is there with Judge. My number one priority as the Yankees organization is to keep Judge on the field. And yes, I want to utilize his defense, but I'd like to utilize his defense in a corner. I think they're better off with someone who's playing center field that's not Aaron Judge. Like, if anything, sure, a few games, something goes on, okay. But I don't want more than, 10, 20 games tops from him in center field. That alignment is going to spell a lot more Judge in center field.
Well, it has to. Because you can't play Stanton out there.
If Verdugo doesn't play every day, all right, you mix in some DH time.
But who else do they have is my question. Cabrera? Cabrera is an outfielder? No, isn't Cabrera an outfielder?
No, Pereira. They moved him to the out. They moved him to left. He was trying it out.
Yeah, but
Dominguez is coming back. Obviously,
but when does Dominguez come back?
Well, that's right. They can't plan on
so when
that
Dominguez comes back, okay, you have Soto, Verdugo, Judge, Dominguez, Stanton for 4 spots. Who sits? Verdugo.
Mix it up.
You're going to sit Judge. You're going to sit Judge, Soto, Stanton, Dominguez.
No, you're
and
not.
You're going to let Verdugo play. Verdugo's out.
Judge and Soto, and you tier it. That's not abnormal.
No. Judge plays every day.
I understand.
Yes.
I just said you don't.
Soto plays every day.
Correct.
Dominguez plays every day.
You have 2 spots though, outfield and DH.
That's 3 outfielders I just named.
G.
Understand.
And then you have Giancarlo Stanton.
He's going to hit 39 homers this year.
Who? G?
Yep.
If he's healthy, he might hit 50.
He might not play every day though.
He's going to play every day.
Oh,
He's going to play every day.
Now that is a hot take. If he's healthy, he'll play every day.
Every game.
Every game.
Yeah, he will.
Okay.
I mean, okay. So let's say he plays 145. Where do you mix in Verdugo?
Man,
San Diego.
Given the comments
exactly.
from their GM, I think 145 is a stretch. Their GM doesn't think he's going to make it through many games.
Today, Giancarlo Stanton thinks he's going to make it through 145.
That's fine.
And that's all that matters because you don't know he's going to blow his hammy out. Maybe the thing he unlocks this year, de-tightening his hips, unloosening his whatever it is that he needs to do physically.
They basically said he needs to lose weight, Kratz. I mean, they said he needs to be more mobile. Boone. Well, they said he's cutting weight. So in my mind, Yankees were like, hey, we got to get you a little thinner.
Or maybe he's going into body issue again. He's trying to look good on that.
Dude, all I know is out of those 5 people for 4 spots, Verdugo's out.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine. He's average offensive player, below average defensive player right now. So that's fine. He's a 4th outfielder right now.
So why make this trade? Why make this trade if you're the Yankees if you're not shipping him to San Diego?
Depth.
Thank you.
Stanton gets hurt. Judge gets hurt. Dominguez is hurt right now.
He's going to San Diego.
He is going somewhere else.
Derek's going to be so happy when that happens. And Jeremy, our director, is going to be so pissed.
We'll get to the Soto part of the conversation coming up. Let's cue the poll question, which this is another layer of this story. Cody Bellinger obviously is not going to end up with the Yanks, you figure, especially if they get Soto. So the Yanks have made their decision there. Who is he going to end up with? Cubs, Giants, Angels, other. We'll be right back with Gabrielle Starr on FT on Stadium. We go from a few months ago saying, can the Mariners shell out $50 million for Shohei Ohtani to can the Mariners afford a Rosarena and Paredes for $12 million next year? Is it really that dire? And the question that I ask is, half kidding, are the Mariners broke?
I did report that, Scott, but let me give you the context. I did report that early this offseason there was a conversation that took place between the Mariners and the Rays, and at the time the Mariners told the Rays, yeah, we can't go there financially with some of these guys, but this is why they've cleared so much money. Remember, they did not offer Teoscar Hernandez a qualifying offer. That's $20 million that they didn't even float out there. Then they traded Eugenio Suarez along with the trade that they made the other night with Evan White involved and Marco Gonzalez involved along with Jared Kelenic. Combined in future commitments, that saved $42 million. Not all of it this year, some of it in the years beyond. They did send $4.5 million in cash over, so really the ultimate savings is about $37.5 million. That is a place now where they can go explore some of these things that you were talking about there. And what I really would interpret that as is, guys, when we're talking to the Rays, we can't do this right now. We've got to do some things to clear money before we can get serious. So it's not that they don't have any money and that they're broke, but they are under restraints by ownership. There's no question about that. It's painfully obvious. And Cal Raleigh talked about it at the end of the season, and I know Mariners executives and people with the team got upset. Guess what? He told the truth. And he told the truth about a franchise that you would think, after finally ending its 21-year postseason drought in 2022, would have used that as momentum, and instead they have stayed stuck in neutral.
And now, back to foul territory.
Love that about our. If you're listening on the pod, because Scott always does this.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can't, if you're listening, well, I guess you hear that a little, but you need to see it. So, and right now you can see our next guest on FT Live back with us, Gabrielle Starr, who covers the Red Sox for the Boston Herald. Gabrielle, great to see you. And are you shocked that the Yankees and the Red Sox actually made friends for a night?
I'm not sure if it's so much friends, and thanks for having me back, guys. As much as it is a mutually beneficial ceasefire, I guess. They're each getting something out of this, and it doesn't happen often. I think it's the 7th trade in the last 50 years between the two teams, but it helps the Red Sox kind of solidify their younger, more club-controlled outfield, helps them add pitching, which they desperately need at multiple levels of their organization. And, the Yankees are apparently stockpiling outfielders if the Soto thing comes to fruition.
So I want to get right into Verdugo's situation with the Red Sox, because Yankee fans are interested in this as well. What did you observe? What did you hear? We saw and heard from some of it with Alex Cora, but the lateness. How bad did it get there? And should the Yankees be concerned? Because there's other parts of Alex Verdugo where people are like, he plays with fire. He tells it like it is, which the media always loves. So what did you get out of the total package of him as a player and a person?
I think the interesting thing about Verdugo is that, yeah, he does bring that fire, but it's never been consistent. He'll have these flashes of incredible play, walking off multiple games in the first 30 of the season this year. He had that 3 consecutive leadoff homer stretch, which was something no Red Sox player had done before. But overall, the consistency that the Red Sox were hoping for with him never materialized. And what was consistent was that he would get benched. He got benched last year for not hustling. He got benched this year for not hustling. He got benched for the lateness thing. And I am not alone in saying that I've never seen Alex Cora so furious. He said it was one of the worst days of his time in the organization. And, it's not the kind of energy that Red Sox fans like. I know a lot of fans really liked Verdugo, but they also take issue with those kinds of incidents happening because that's not the kind of energy that they want representing the team. And it was very clear that the Red Sox were not interested in extending him. They did not talk to him about extensions. And with Jarren Duran coming up, Ceddanne Rafaela coming up, the signing of Masataka Yoshida last winter, there was really no need to come to that kind of agreement. So I think the interesting thing this year is this is Verdugo's last year of club control. He would like to get a multi-year deal somewhere, as all players would. So he has something to prove. But he also told the Red Sox last spring training that he was going to prove he had earned a long-term deal here. And by June, he was already being benched for not hustling. So I'm not sure, how much follow through there will be. And it's also a concern for prospective teams, because as talented as he can be, if he's not consistent now, what motivation will he have to be consistent when he does get paid, if he gets one of these big deals?
Are they going to miss his presence on the field? Because all we're talking about right now is off the field stuff, which honestly, unless you're a diehard fan, which there's a lot in Fenway, these are all comments from Alex Cora. If Alex Cora doesn't say any of these things, these are all off-field, in-clubhouse things that could be taken care of. Are they going to miss him on the field? Because we haven't mentioned the fact that he's like a pretty much average OPS plus, league average OPS plus hitter in the last few years.
I think that they'll miss him at times. He was definitely a great defender in right field, and everybody knows that Fenway's outfield is a tricky dimension place. But I think that, things that are technically off field, yes, they do have that on-field impact. And wondering whether or not he's gonna be late or, be hustling and then be benched and be unavailable, that does feed into the on-field stuff for the other guys. I think that the young core that they have now, which includes several outfielders, is potentially a healthier energy for the collective team. Verdugo could be really fun and definitely tell it like it is, and he definitely played with a lot of passion at times. But I think that they also have a lot of players who play with that passion now, who can do the job and, with potentially fewer side effects.
Okay, so kind of to go off what Kratz just said, like we're not even talking about him really as a player that much. It's more of like, so we mentioned this earlier, I did, and I used the wrong word. I said more of a dump by the Red Sox, but Is this Alex Cora kind of getting his way and to Craig Breslow and saying, I don't want this guy around? Was it that contentious in there with Alex Cora and the benchings and the not showing up late? And also, what's the Red Sox big move? The Red Sox have to make a big move, right? To appease the fan base, to make the fans come back, do something, spend some money. So was this a dump by them to gain some money to make that big move?
I really don't think so. I mean, he was going to get a significant raise in arbitration this year, his final year of arbitration. But I think it's more that they knew they could get something in return for him. And because they don't technically need him in the outfield because of all of these younger players, they figured it would be a mutually beneficial thing to trade him. They added 3 pitchers. I cannot remember the last time a Red Sox trade netted 3 pitchers. And, you know, he'll probably hit well at Yankee Stadium. There will be less friction for sure. There were definitely times that his relationship with Alex Cora was quite tense. There have been suggestions that Cora did really want him to be traded. I think this is just a healthier all-around situation. And yes, the Red Sox do need to make a splash. They really need fans to come back. There was actually, ironically, a Red Sox-Yankee series in mid-September where you could get a seat in the bleachers for $1 plus fees. Those are early 1970s bleacher prices right there. So the Red Sox know that fans are not intrigued, but they're focusing on pitching as their top priority, primarily starting rotation. And that is what will make the big splash. And when this team has good pitching, everyone's seen what they can do. They go to the postseason when they have good starting pitching. And when they don't, they finish last 3 times in 4 seasons. So that is what's going to be, you know, potentially the big move. And Breslow, as a former pitcher and former VP of pitching for the Cubs, is the guy to find those pitchers. And Andrew Bailey will be the guy to make sure that they're healthy and effective this season, which is something the Red Sox have lacked for a long time.
Will Sox fans lose their mind if Verdugo goes to San Diego in a Yankees trade for Soto? Will they just forever hate on Craig Breslow, even though it is Alex Cora's move? Will they forever hate on the fact that he brought Juan Soto to the Yankees?
You know, I think the thing with Soto is, as you guys mentioned before, the defense is not ideal. So the Yankees are, as talented as Soto is at the plate, the Yankees are continuing their trend of trying to slug their way to the postseason. And Soto is a Scott Boras client. So the likelihood of him going to free agency and not accepting an extension this year from the Yankees is quite high, especially because he could become one of these first $500 million contract players, presuming that Ohtani becomes the first in the coming days. So I think, yes, some Red Sox fans would say, you know, oh, this is what brought Soto. This is, you know, this sucks, whatever. But I think that Red Sox fans should be more focused on, you know, who the Red Sox are adding. You know, potentially Yamamoto or one of the other free agent starters, probably 2. They could definitely use, you know, more than 1 free agent signing. They have the financial flexibility to do that, or to make a huge trade. And that should be the focus, because no matter what happens with Verdugo, he's gone. He's not coming back. So if the Yankees bundle him in this trade, fine. Red Sox fans should focus on the future. They shouldn't look back. There's too much of that already.
Man, no, I want fire from Yankees. I want fire from Red Sox fans.
They are pissed off.
I want them to be pissed if they get Soto because of Verdugo. They should.
Well,
they can look at Craig Breslow.
What they're doing. Huh? What are the Red Sox doing? That's what I want to double down on. So Gabrielle, the ownership group in their first 18 years running the team were top 5 in payroll. They've been out of the top 5 the last 3 seasons. This past season, they were not even in the top 10. Obviously, in terms of revenue, we know that they're in the top 10. And it seems like they're going to kind of refocus on spending a little more because, yes, breaking news, not everyone can be the Rays, as other teams and ownership groups continue to eventually get educated on. So my question is on the 3 layers here: ownership, decision makers in front office besides them, which would be, Breslow, Cora, and fan pulse. When that all combines here, how do you see this offseason playing out right now? I know you mentioned, they'll go after hopefully multiple big pitchers. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're going to land Yamamoto with the Giants, the Yankees, the Mets, and others that are going to, I think, give stupid money and outspend the Red Sox. So, after that, maybe Jordan Montgomery. But like, what is an offseason that appeases everyone in this scenario? Because I even think like Montgomery is not enough. Like there needs to be multiple signings here for them to be contenders in one of the best divisions in baseball, right?
Definitely. And I mean, let's get this out of the way right now. All of this is stupid money, right? I mean, I love baseball. We all do. That's why we're here. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about potential $500 million contracts for a game, it's all stupid money. Nobody needs $500 million.
I do.
I mean, we all do. But the point is, like, how are you really going to spend $500 million?
Give it to me. I'll show you.
The Red Sox, the funny thing with them is that for a long time, as you mentioned, they were a team that was giving out these kind of crazy contracts. They gave out the contracts to Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford, Pablo Sandoval, David Price. David Price's contract at the time, I believe, was the richest pitching contract in MLB history. It was like 200 and something, $15 million over 7 years. And, they have shied away from that, though, of course, they did pay Rafael Devers last year. They kind of had to at that point, but they did it. They got it done. And, they did spend in 2022. They were over the luxury tax. They paid the luxury tax at the end of last season. They finished last. They had a ton of injuries. That team should have been better than it was, but they have spent. I'm not saying that they've spent well, but they have spent. I mean, it's not been that long since they were multiple years over the luxury tax consecutively. And that is one thing that they have going for them right now that teams like the Yankees and the Padres don't, is they have no luxury tax penalties. So they can offer giant contracts to players, and they don't have a lot of long-term financial commitments at the moment. They have very few, actually. The Yankees have several. And, they've got a good farm, which they didn't have for a long time. So really this offseason, they are able to fire on all cylinders. The question is just how aggressive are they going to be? And you didn't see a lot of aggressiveness from Chaim Bloom. You've already seen aggressiveness from the Red Sox in getting Andrew Bailey. The Yankees were interested in him and interviewed him for their bench coach role, which would have been a promotion of sorts. And they traded Verdugo pretty quickly. And they actually got 3 pitchers for him. So far, the theme has been more aggressive than we've seen basically since the Mookie Betts trade. And the only thing aggressive about that was how much the Red Sox wanted to unload David Price's contract. So, they need to spend. They told us on the last day of the season, or the day after the last day of the season, that they're not going to reveal whether they plan on exceeding the luxury tax because it will give away their strategy for the offseason. But, in my personal opinion, if you want butts in the seats, you need to give people a reason to want to watch the Red Sox. And there have not been many reasons to watch the Red Sox over 3 of the last 4 years. And to do that, you need marquee players. And Jordan Montgomery, you talk about the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. If the Red Sox signed Jordan Montgomery, who the Yankees probably never should have traded in the first place, that'll also, be kind of a little rivalry boost. But they need marquee players. And right now, they have a young core, but young core doesn't always translate right away to marquee players. So they need to go out and spend that stupid money, basically.
Well, finally, I mean, they're not a small market. We're not talking about
they're
the Rays,
one
the
of the
Pirates.
richest ownership groups in baseball.
They own Liverpool. They own the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they're doing okay money-wise. It just doesn't make sense. What is their strategy? Because you're mentioning, again, no offense to the guys they're bringing in and trading and these young kids and all these moves they're making, but I still go back to when I was still playing. The Red Sox were like, oh, we're going to go get Manny. Oh, we're going to go get Johnny Damon. Oh, we're going to get Pedro. Oh, we're going to get Kurt Schilling. Oh, we're going to go get this guy. Oh, we got this guy. Oh, and then the Yankees were like, oh, well, you got him? Well, we're going to go get him. Oh, we're going to get him. Right? So it was always, now it seems like the Yankees are still trying to do that. And I get the luxury tax and all that stuff that, everyone, oh, they're under the luxury tax. Whoop-de-fucking-doo-dah. The Red Sox have plenty of money. But when are we going to see, I guess Yamamoto would be the move, right? The huge, like, wow, they finally did it move. But it doesn't seem like they're operating like that. Heimblum did everything they asked him to do. Traded Mookie Betts was his first priority, and he did it. Build up the farm system. He did it. Guess what he got? He got a pink slip out the door, and now they brought in Craig Breslow, and there was rumors that people didn't want this job. So what is the strategy in Boston? I don't understand, because Henry has, in that whole Fenway Sports ownership group, they have LeBron James in it, right? I mean, they have all the money in the world. It just doesn't seem like the only thing that got to him last year was when remember, people weren't buying tickets to the Red Sox anymore. They were, oh no, there's empty seats. And like you said, there was dollar seats in the outfield. Maybe that was the only way to get them to wake up and say, we need to spend.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because it is notable that Alex Cora was pretty shocked, at least talking to us right after they fired Chaim. And they fired Chaim either the day after or during the series when Fred Lynn, former Red Sox star outfielder, was at Fenway and tweeted about the fact that the tickets were cheaper than they were when he played in the early 1970s. And Cora did not seem like he was expecting Chaim to be fired, maybe at the end of the season, but not, the week of September 13th. And I think it was a wake-up call that you go from the Red Sox and Yankees setting a wild card record for average ticket price in 2021 to, oh, you can watch these teams duke it out to see who's going to finish fourth and who's going to finish fifth in the AL East, and it only will cost you $1 plus fees.
I was at those games. I did those games. I did one of those games for Fox. There was nobody at the game. There was nobody at the game.
The weather was also terrible.
It was in Boston. There was nobody there.
Yeah, because those fans are used to seeing competitive ball, and those teams were out of it. That was September, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not in the playoff race.
still.
Well, they weren't.
Red Sox was auto
sell
sellout for years.
Week. That was the week that they dipped under the winning record for the last time. That was like the nail in the coffin, was that 4-game series. But yes, I mean, the Red Sox used to be aggressive. And the reason for that was, first it's reverse the curse, right? We got to do something that hasn't been done in 86 years. And they spent, a few years really building towards that. And then it was, okay, we need to prove that we're not a one and done, like that it's not another 86 years. So you keep going. 2007, 2013, I think was, pretty unexpected. I mean, it was incredible, but it was, it's the random veteran free agents kind of thing with Victorino and Napoli and Gomes. And it's, that was great. But I don't think anyone predicted that. A lot of people didn't predict them getting past the Tigers in the postseason. And 2018 was, Dombrowski did what Dombrowski does, what he's been doing for the Phillies. He spent. He got, every time they got booted out of the postseason in 16, 17, he went out and he added, and he kept spending until he got that winner. So, that used to be the clear priority. Not every year. It's not like the Yankees, who've had 30 plus consecutive winning seasons. But, they go from first to worst, worst to first. But they have more championships this century than any other franchise. So as crazy as it is, something works even though it doesn't necessarily work. The question now is the focus still on winning? They claim it is. They call it the North Star. They say it's still, the priority. I think anyone watching them the last few years would easily say it's not. They've also had some terrible luck, with Chris Sale, other pitching injuries. And yeah, Chaim Bloom was a scapegoat in a lot of ways. He was set up to be disliked from the jump by being the guy who had to slash payroll and, rebuild the farm system. And he did the latter. Actually, he did both. He just did it in a way that was historically shocking with the Mookie Betts trade. And that basically meant that forever he will be the guy. He's Harry Frazee of the 21st century. He's the guy that sent away the generational talent. And that's really a hard, hole to climb out of. But the Red Sox team that Craig Breslow inherited from Chaim Bloom is a team with all the financial flexibility in the world and, according to Baseball America, a top 10 farm system. So he's in a position to, if they are really serious about spending money and winning again, he's in the position to do that. He's in the position to make insane trades. He's in the position to spend money on a guy like Yamamoto. And it's just a question of how much do the Red Sox want it? And this is the offseason that's going to tell us if they want it at all. And I think it's crucial because, the last 2 years, they've had the worst home attendance of the current ownership. And that says a lot because Red Sox fans usually turn out for even the worst of times. And even they weren't showing up this year.
All right. So have you seen Craig Breslow this week? Has he done press conference?
Yeah.
Does he have a quarter zip on? That's all I want to know.
I think that's the executive uniform, right? Everyone has to wear
exactly. I said
some kind of half zip.
At next year's meetings, I'm going to be in the lobby selling quarter zips, and I'll sell out. I'll just have one of every team, and every GM that I'll be at the front door, and every time they walk in, I'll be like, here, $20, and I'll buy them as they walk in. Because every interview, every manager has
Brock wore. I think they should all wear those sweaters that Brock Holt wore for the draft lottery last night because those are way cooler.
I don't know if I saw that.
I didn't see. Brock was I guess
it was like some kind of Fair Isle, black and white, like I don't know. It was just like a bold print. It was definitely.
We gotta look it up.
Zip.
Yeah, we gotta look. I mean, Brock's one of ours, so we will definitely check it out. Gabrielle, great to have you on. Look forward to maybe talking again when the Red Sox do some things. Like a casual Jordan Montgomery, Seth Lugo, and
Yamamoto,
Giolito for the rotation. Call Hader. Just get after it. Hopefully, I know Red Sox fans have been bitching for a while now. So, Gabrielle, great to have you on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You can follow her at GF Star 1. Be right back.
Do they have the ability to, if this does happen with Shohei, you need a 6-man rotation. So you need 5 other starters when he does pitch, presuming he'll come back after this mystery elbow surgery that he had and pitch. Will they be able to do that? And then will they be able to accommodate Guerrero, Bichette, all these other guys they have? Because when Shohei's in the lineup, you can't put, Vlad has a sore knee. We'll DH him, not put him on the turf. Will they be able to fit him in? Because he kind of takes up a lot of space on your team.
And paying all of those guys and keeping Vladdy and Bo for Shohei. Didn't you say they have a separate budget if they get him?
Yeah, I think they've been led to believe that there's a unicorn budget, so that if they get Ohtani, that they can they can still continue to do what they were going to do with the addition of him. Yeah, it's tough to have a DH only because you're right, you can't give those guys rest. They had Brandon Belt this past season who could at least play a little first base if Vlad needed a day off the field or a day off his feet. You're never going to want to do that. With Ohtani, like if Ohtani, you would assume would be playing over everybody else, but I think you can make him fit. And the pitching is still a year away. Does he come back and start? Does he come back and close? Because you're worried about the elbow breaking again. Who knows? But the Blue Jays certainly, like any team, would be happy to make those accommodations for a guy who's the best player in the game and would be one of their best starting pitchers. And just one of the other things that AJ mentioned, the Jays have Yusei Kikuchi, who apparently was a hero of Ohtani's when Ohtani was growing up and playing through the ranks of Japanese baseball. So maybe they use Kikuchi to recruit him a little bit as well. I think if they were to get him, they would be more than happy to make room for him and to do the things that they need to do as far as the lineup is concerned to make it fit.
And now back to Foul Territory.
back on FT and more mounds to charge, just like smaller mounds, right? They're smaller deals. Actually, some of them are probably more than you anticipated, but let's do the trade first. Marco Gonzalez. I'm sorry if you bought property in Atlanta. I apologize. We should have told you. No, they did. Anthopoulos even said, right? What was that, a day or two ago already? Please have your bags packed again, or just, keep them in their spot because you're moving. And he is going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. So cash and a player to be named later. Good classic baseball trade. Braves covering some of that money. Fits better in the Pittsburgh Pirates rotation. Every fifth day, they need your innings. And this is the big Pirates offseason move here. Kratz, they're making a playoff push.
They are filling out their roster, that's for sure. But
yeah,
why don't the Braves need somebody that pitches every fifth day? Like, the Braves were struggling down the stretch. I get it. They have Bryce Elder coming off an all-star appearance. He's got to come back in shape to be able to throw 32 starts. Max Fried hasn't made 32 starts. Strider is young in his 32 start career here. Like, he hasn't done it a ton. Why didn't the Braves need to keep him? I know their whole goal was to flip him. I mean, shoot, they took his contract on and they spent more money and sent it to the Pirates. Like, I don't know. Marco Gonzalez I think he's more of an upgrade for the Braves and for the Pirates, because the Pirates need more than just Marco Gonzalez.
Yeah, but the Braves are counting on some of their young guys.
Well, they're also
they still have Morton, Fried, Strider, Ian Anderson. Maybe some point might make an appearance.
Smith Shawver,
Elder.
There's guys there.
Elder,
I think that the way they look at it is Marco's a 5, right? And they think that they have multiple 5s instead of him with higher upside, and they're aiming for a 2.
Okay, well, that's fine until you get that 2. Until you get that 2, you don't want to get rid of your 5.
But they have other 5s. That's the thing, or they feel like they have other 5s. Because think about it. Come playoff time, the problem wasn't we have no starting pitchers in the org. The problem was we don't feel like we have playoff starting pitchers, which are the top 3 in your rotation, right?
See,
there's a difference there.
We're talking about the Braves right there. That's why the Pirates wanted him. He just struck out whoever that was hitting for the Pirates.
You're talking about the Braves don't have playoff quality starters?
No, this past postseason, Strider obviously is a G. Morton was hurt. Fried was coming back, but he is a playoff starter for them. So if you're going into this season and you say, who are our playoff starters? You feel really good about Strider, Fried, Morton if he's healthy to an extent. Maybe Smith Shawver takes a big next step. I don't know. I don't think they feel great about Elder, but maybe as a back-end guy because he had a great first half. But my point is, I think they're still swimming in the trade market. I think they'll be going aggressively after someone like Dylan Cease, maybe Tyler Glasnow, though it feels like it's a little expensive for them. They definitely should be playing in those waters, though, in my mind. Tyler Glasnow in the NL East as part of the Braves rotation would be nasty. But I think they're playing in those waters, and that's different. So I think they felt like Gonzalez was expendable to that extent.
So if you're going in that waters, why don't they go Jordan Montgomery? He's right in that $22 million range, and it gives you but it gives you that $22 million that, all their players are right around that sphere of $20 to $25 million. You go and get Jordan Montgomery. Like, to me,
you might be right. They played for Nola. You might be right. I will say you might be right, but it feels like they'll look at it as too pricey. Have we seen him linked to them much?
No, but I'm saying, like, based on what you were saying, what is the plan? You have young guys. You have young guys in your minor leagues that you can always call up. Unfortunately, Bryce Elder, we'll find out this year, he has options. And if you keep a guy like Marco Gonzalez, he's solidifying that 4th, 5th spot, which needs solidification, which needs innings. And I'm not saying that Marco Gonzalez is the picture of innings. Until this past year, he had one season where he made 34 starts. So you're solidifying that 4th and 5th spot with your minor leagues or a guy like Marco Gonzalez, a Kyle Gibson type of pitcher. Kyle Gibson is, has more of upside because he's making all of his starts, but you're solidifying it, and then your minor league guys are the ones that are coming up. So if you're saying playoffs, like, okay, Morton was hurt, Fried was hurt the last 2 playoffs, so we weren't able to get those guys, then you almost have to dip your toe in the water of the Jordan Montgomery. I don't think they're going to go there, but it's like, what is the plan when you say we don't want to Marco Gonzalez? Is it to just say, hey, you know what, we're good. We're going to rotate two of the best minor league arms that we have.
Yeah, they have a lot. Is coming back too, and I know it's coming off an injury, but they actually spoke highly of him the other day. I feel like there are like 5-6 options for the back end of their rotation with higher upside than Gonzalez. That's just how I feel the Braves are looking at things. So if they're playing in the market at this point, they're playing for a guy that they can slot towards the top and move everyone down. I just think for them, they're looking at Gonzalez and saying, is he better? Is there more upside for him than some of the guys that we just mentioned? I think there's like 5 guys, and I think the answer is no. Like, is he better higher upside than Smith-Shawver? No. Is he better higher upside than Yanoa? Not if he's healthy.
Dodd, Elder. There's a whole slew.
There's a lot of names that are at that back end there with higher upside.
With less, and costing less too. Marco's making
significantly
more money.
Yes.
And listen, I love Marco. I played with Marco in St. Louis when he first came up, and he's a great dude, a great pitcher.
Yeah.
But he's like a thumbing lefty, like control guy. And I think that what you said was right. The Braves feel like they can find those innings, whether it's through one guy or numerous guys in their organization. The trade was made for Jared Kelenic.
Yeah, they took on money. It was a money dump by the Mariners.
They already said that. Yes. I mean, Anthopoulos came out and was like, we wanted Kelenic. So in order to get Kelenic, we had to take on Marco Gonzalez, and then they flipped to the Pirates for money. Great for the Pirates. Great for Marco. I think he's a free agent at the end of the year. Go out, make your 30 starts, have your mid-3 to 4 ERA, and next year you'll be a free agent and make some more money.
Yeah.
I think this, and you know what? And if he goes out and does a great year, there's also one thing you think about as a free agent. If you don't have a lot of options, and a team like Pittsburgh, or I don't want to say Oakland, but a team that's not really competitive comes and calls, Kansas City,
good pitchers parks.
You're there for 2 months, 3 months, and then in June, July, guess what? Shoot, out the door to a contender, usually, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world for Marco Gonzalez.
Yep. Good call. All right. We'll be right back. We'll finish things up, and there's another little signing that we'll get to before we flip it to the next hour of FT. Thoughts on Shohei Ohtani visiting Dunedin, Florida, and this show actually being closer to where the action is than where you are right now.
Well, it was really interesting to hear this yesterday, and all day long it seemed like something was going on. Ross Atkins rescheduled his availability for an undisclosed location. He wouldn't tell anybody where it was. John Schneider's availability was rescheduled last Friday from Monday to Tuesday. And then we learned that Nez Bilello, Shohei Ohtani's agent, was not in the state of Tennessee. And then it was just a matter of finding out where they were. And it turns out they were in Dunedin at the Blue Jays complex. At least that is what I heard, and that's what I reported, that is where the meeting is believed to have taken place. So this obviously establishes the Jays as a serious player. They were a serious player before. We've been talking about them for weeks. But this is a different level. And when a guy visits a spring training complex, that's probably to make sure he's comfortable before advancing the negotiations to another level. Now, don't get me wrong. That does not mean the Jays are the front runner. It does not mean anything at all. This is free agency. Anything can happen. The Dodgers are still perceived by many in the industry to be the leading team for Shohei Ohtani. The Giants are in there. The Angels are in there. The Cubs, to a varying extent, it seems, are in there as well. So I don't know that last night yesterday ultimately will prove decisive in this process, but it was an interesting development to be sure.
Is the excitement of this greater than the chance of this? Or is the boredom of the Dodgers being the team that's going to sign him, which we've said since they didn't sign anybody last year to any big contracts, is that what we're trying to avoid as a baseball industry?
Eric, I don't know that there's any master plan in place as a baseball industry. Each team is vying for Ohtani. And the perception of how it goes down and where he went will be based on the eye of the beholder, right?
And now back to foul territory.
What's up? We're back, and the BetMGM promo is on as usual. So check it out if you're new to the party on BetMGM, and use the promo code FOUL FOUL for $1,500 or up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first wager loses when you sign up on the app and deposit at least $10 into your account. If that first bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Smaller deal, but actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. Good for Victor Caratini signing up with the Astros. Officially the end of the Martin Maldonado era in Houston. Caratini will back up Yainer Diaz, who they're excited to see over a full season. But 2 years, $12 million for Caratini. How you doing? Brewers making money for their catchers.
Making money because they didn't pay him. They kind of sheltered him. I mean, they didn't play him, not pay him. They didn't play him. So he got more value based on the fact that if he had played 162 games, this is what it would have been his worth. So the Astros have a nice little helper if Diaz goes down.
That's the thing, Kratz. When you
didn't get overexposed.
You don't play, it helps. See ya. Bye, Stadium crowd. We'll see you on FT YouTube.
So I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hour 2 of FTLIVE on our YouTube channel. Kratz, AJ, Braun, and our best gamer, Tommy Kahnle, in the house right now. Good to see you.
Tommy, can you raise your camera a little bit?
What do you want to do?
Raise it higher.
Higher?
No. Looks like we're looking down from the Empire State Building on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lower
I don't know, guys. It's just
it was a joke.
That's how it is, you know. It's gaming. That's what we do here.
What's the shirt there, Tommy? Did you just get moved to the Dodgers?
No. This is a team that I played for growing up. Summer ball.
Summer ball, the South Troy Dodgers, bro.
That is correct.
How much water you got?
I mean, seriously, make sure you're hydrated, dude. After the week.
Sorry, this is getting in the way of your hydration. You're going to need to pee halfway through this 15 minutes.
I know. You see all that water? I'm going to down that in about 4 seconds.
Hey, you got to shave. Hal Steinberg just texted us and said you got to shave, too, even if it's the off season.
I know. I mean, I actually just shaved a few days ago. My daughter hates me having any kind of facial hair. Hates it.
Yeah. She's scared of you when you have a beard in the off season?
She doesn't like it because she says it's prickly. That's what she gives me.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wait, how old is she?
She's just about she just turned 2, 3 weeks ago?
Oh, so she's still in that age where you can snuggle up next to her. Trust me, I got an 18-year-old. Dad, don't get anywhere near me, Dad. Oh, no more. Doesn't matter if beard. It's like 6-ish.
That's when they start.
They kind of start. When they get, when they get into school and they start getting their own friends, and then some of them are a little bit older. My daughter was always like, "Dad, you're embarrassing me, Dad. Stay away." Which I get. I'm fine with it.
That's what I love.
All right, Tommy, are you ready to announce Juan Soto to the New York Yankees? Are you going to do it?
Great.
That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, right. I would love that. Let it happen right roller on the show. Come on now.
Have you ever faced him?
I think twice. So first time was an exhibition game back in whatever. I think it was before the 19 season. threw a first pitch fastball. He hit a piss rocket off the wall, and I had no idea who he was. But they were like, "Yeah, kid's supposed to be pretty good." I said, "All right," and he's never getting a fastball ever again. So and then
the second time change up.
Yeah, oh yeah, 3 changeups. It was a playoff game. What was it? Game 2 in 2022? No, 21. Right? Yeah.
Oh, the Dodger Padres.
The Padres. Yeah. Yep.
21.
No,
Yeah.
22, wasn't it?
Was it 22?
They played
22. I don't even know what year.
I did that series 2 years ago.
Oh, it was 22.
Right? It was 2022. Last year was 2023.
22.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 22.
They played in
23 is
20
almost
and
over,
22.
Tommy.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
Tommy, how many TVs do you have behind you? There's like 17 TVs behind you.
So I think you guys can see what? 4? Yeah, you can visually see 4. There's 5. There's one more on this side.
And that's just in the basement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy,
All right, wait. I want to stay focused for a sec. Back to Soto. Is there a group chat with the Yanks players being like, "It's happening. I think it's happening"?
No, luckily I don't even get into the group chat because I'm not an iPhone user, so I get the boot.
Oh, you're a green bubble guy?
Green bubble. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're the worst. I hate you people. I hate green bubble people because you're on a plane, especially on a plane. You can't text your guys on the plane because when you buy the Wi-Fi as a Yankee, if you're not a blue bubble guy, you can't text the green bubble guys. So then you can't be involved in the chats, even if you pay for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no, I'm not even in anything. I mean, I'll start like a couple here and there and just get a few guys. Like I've been texting a few guys on and off, just seeing what's going on.
You know, I'll send you guys a picture after we're off the show of what Tommy does on the plane. Okay, so he's not texting. He's not texting on the plane. Okay, but is that something? Is that something that you guys as a team before the season's over, you're like, okay, our lineup didn't do what they should have done. As pitchers in the bullpen, Harkey's out in the bullpen, are they like, man, it'd be really nice if we could get so-and-so? Or because you bullpen guys, you guys have nothing to do but complain about the hitters getting out. That's all you guys do out there behind the glass.
Oh, every day, you know it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, the season was winding down. I mean, obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted it to. But, I mean, there's how we are out in the bullpen. We just sit and talk and kind of like fuck around, if I can use that. Sorry. But
you absolutely
can. You know that. Yeah. That's basically what we do all day.
Yeah.
We we have some chatter about what guys maybe we can go out and maybe get, but we're not the GM, so we have no, there's not much really I can do. Maybe, I don't know, but obviously it was in the back of my head. I think I had like maybe a conversation or two about Soto, so it looks like it's coming to fruition here. So it'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
It'd be awesome. And also it'd be the second deal in the past 24 hours, because this one's real that you can completely lay out for us. Alex Verdugo is a new teammate of yours. So
yeah, that's right.
Thoughts on the move and the experience with him. What do you got for us?
I love it. I mean, we went out and got another bat, lefty, especially in our ballpark. Lefties are big. So it's great to go out and get another outfielder. And it's pretty wild. I mean, he was an all-star last year, right? Or am I missing something here?
I don't think last year.
Or did he miss?
He had a good first half,
though. Missed out, yeah. But, adding another guy like that is huge. So it's going to be exciting to, get in there and see what these guys are like, I haven't heard much about them. But, somebody's phone.
AJ was getting
I don't have much on him, so
yeah. You didn't face him, Tommy?
Have I faced? I did. Yeah, a couple times.
Like you did.
He had to have faced Verdugo.
Yeah,
Yankees, Red Sox.
So
yeah.
Do you think that, Tommy? Do you think that he had some issues with the team this past year? Wasn't getting along really with Cora. It was documented. Cora, spelled it out to the media. Do you think? I mean, isn't this the classic? Goes to New York and anyone would want to burn their former team, even if there was an animosity. Now he joins your ball club. I would have a chip on my shoulder, Yeah,
I agree. I bet you he's got a little bit of extra motivation now anytime we go and play Boston. So I'm going to like having that. Obviously, it's another weird, seeing a trade between Boston and us, but it's what's it only happened like 6-7 times in the last who knows how many years.
Yep, 50
but
years.
It is always wild to see that, but it's cool. So we got another good player, good bat, and I'm excited.
So you're a man of the people. You love the fans in New York.
Always.
How do you think Verdugo is going to be if he doesn't get flipped to San Diego? How do you think he's going to be received? I mean, this is a dude that came from the evil side and got a baseball thrown at him and partially jumped up into the stands and tried to fight somebody. I don't think you were there at that time.
No,
How
I
do you
don't
think he's
think
going to receive his fans from the fans?
So, being in New York, you've done it. I mean, at first, you're always going to be well received, especially if you're on the team. So It all depends on how you perform in New York. It always does. It always will, and it always has been. So it's going to be on Alex to go out and perform, and fans will love him.
0 for 2 with 2 punchies, by the way, if you were wondering what he's done against you. Verdugo.
Nice. I got a little, nice. I like that. A little, stuff I can take to into spring training and give it to him. Just like I did with Rizzo. Just like I did with Riz all year. Let him know that he's 0 for 4, 0 for 5, whatever it was. Enough at bats.
You have to.
He knows.
You have to. But do you know who on your team has hit a dinger against you?
Oof. I mean, there's probably a bunch, isn't there? I can't even.
So you don't even care.
No.
Okay.
Who you got, Kratz? You know someone, or you're just asking?
No, I was just asking.
Oh.
I don't remember. Was it? I don't know. I got nothing. Who is it? You got the answer?
No, I don't have the answer yet, but I'll find it for you.
Oh, okay. There's definitely somebody. There's got to be. I mean, who?
No, you're selling yourself short. Tommy doesn't give up a lot of homers. I think you're selling yourself short. I think there's a chance that no one's homered off you on your team.
Wait, have you faced Kratz?
With that poop stuff, I would definitely have hit a dinger off of him. He's a 2-pitch guy with a below-average changeup.
He's a 1-pitch guy with a changeup. That's it.
That's easy. Thumber.
That's all it is.
Right there. You're looking at a thumber.
Yeah, that is true.
That throws 98.
Yeah, say it to his face in person, Kratz.
You what?
Man.
Say it to his face in person. You seen his water jug?
Please.
That's right.
See that water jug?
Kratz, I'm man enough to admit I was 0 for 1 off of him.
Oh, okay. Wow, yeah.
Ground ball. I think a ground ball back to him, maybe.
That's big of you.
You were in Colorado, I think, at the time.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right.
2015?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
What?
What?
Don't ruin
I
our
was just
moment,
a
Scott.
little wee young pup there in those times.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The changeup.
Oh, yeah.
Always been
Those
there.
100.
I did
those
actually that
92%
year.
changeups.
Yeah, that year I was throwing a lot of changeups because I had zero idea where the fastball was going. Zero. Not a clue. I remember
Almost a decade later.
I think we had McHenry back there, and he's just calling changeups. I mean, that was the first time I ever realized that it was pretty good. Might as well use it a little bit more. So
that was kind of before teams, especially Colorado, were telling pitchers like, let's shorten up the repertoire and maybe just throw your best pitch like most of the time.
Yeah.
Lots changed. All right, so I got a lot of people to ask you about. Okay, I'm going to start with. Yeah, it's good.
Right,
You'll like this. All right.
This.
So let's start with first on my list, Carlos Mendoza, bench coach. Seemed like everyone loved him. We had him on. I hadn't spoken to him. Full of energy, enthusiasm, super excited, but also it sounds like he can be stern and put a dude in his place. But you tell me, how's he going to be as a manager now across town?
Yeah, I think Mendy's a great fit for that job, man. I've known Mendy since when I first got drafted. He was, I believe he was our infield coordinator for a few years. And then I left in Rule 5 and then came back and he was part of the staff. So it was great to see him. And you are right. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. I think he's been a great coach for us. And obviously it sucks to see him go because I've known him for a long time. So, and I think he got handed the keys to another big market team, and it's going to be fun to see what they can do over there. So, and then obviously we'll see him for 4 games this year. So it's going to be fun to watch him. And I think did he name a bench coach yet or no?
Yeah, John Gibbons.
Okay, well, all right. Because I saw that there was word that there's possibly they were going to come after our guy. Wow, I'm blanking. Wasn't ready for this. No,
Aaron Boone.
I can't even think right
Bill
now.
Nevin.
Why am I struggling?
What
Sean
position
Casey.
did he coach?
Rojas? Am I losing my mind right now?
Oh, Miguel Rojas.
Oh,
no.
yeah, there we go.
They wouldn't have brought him back.
He
dude.
was
the
manager there for a while.
I
It
know,
didn't work
but
out so good.
maybe a bench coach. I don't know.
New ownership.
Yeah.
He's good. I
No,
like
he
him a
is
lot.
good. Or
Yeah.
sorry, I said Miggy. Luis Rojas, your third base coach.
Well, Cohen got rid of him, didn't he? When he came in, that's when they
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
who he
he
got rid of.
got
Yeah.
rid of.
replacement for Beltran. Remember?
Yes.
And that was right when
yeah.
Cohen started.
And then Buck took over. But no, Luis is well liked there. And I would say, yes, I agree with you, Tommy. He will be manager again at some point. I definitely agree with that.
Tommy,
Really
what do you
good coach.
think?
What
What do you think of your new bench coach?
Oh, Alsmith, right? That's right. Yeah. I mean, I haven't talked to him at all. I don't think I've ever met him. But I don't have any like intel or anything on him. I got nothing. I mean, obviously, the only thing I know is just growing up as a kid watching him play. So it's gonna be pretty cool, have another guy like that in the clubhouse as a coach, on the staff. So I'm pretty excited, get to talk to him, see what's going on.
He's really smart. Is that intimidating to you?
Yeah, sometimes, not the brightest. So
What if he tells you how smart he is and is kind of arrogant to you as a eighth inning closer piece guy coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah,
You got to put him in his place?
Yeah, why not? So that's what you got to do, right?
You take him.
You won't. I mean, you just be like, dude, you're the bench coach. You're not the manager.
Yeah.
You got to earn my respect. I don't have to earn your respect.
I think he's got respect. He played a long time, so
You did.
he's been around the game.
True. Speaking of people around the game, your GM, Brian Cashman, came out and said he didn't expect Giancarlo Stanton to play more than like 20 games this year. I mean, it was more than that. What do you say, 100 games?
You said he's going to be hurt.
Yeah, he basically came out and said, G's going to be hurt for a while. I mean, if I'm Stanton, we just mentioned you grabbing Austin's, I mean, Stanton, he could probably take Brian Cashman and pick him up and like the old cartoons of the Giant guys.
I'm very sure he could. Dude.
But wouldn't that make you, like, as a former player, if the GM of my team was like, hey, you're going to be hurt, I'd be like, dude, these are not Tommy Kahnle's words. These are mine. I'd be like, dude, fuck off. Like, I'm not trying to get hurt.
You'd say I'm pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah. You pay me $300 million, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I was taken aback by it. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of us were. I was kind of like, what am I reading right now? I was like, holy crap. But, I mean, it is what it is. They're going to, word stuff in the media, and I don't know. I don't even know where to go with this. But obviously,
you just said Cashman was misquoted as they were filming him saying it, which is a great answer.
Yeah,
you just said, that was a
no, that one was for the article.
I got nothing.
No, that actually is a smart answer. Just because that's a good. You like the Yankees, you want to be on the Yankees. That's a good answer.
Yes.
Oh man, obviously you love the Yankees, man. Best place to be.
My only thing is if something like that goes down, is it do these things get settled behind the scenes where there's a conversation? It's like, hey, I didn't mean it that way, or my bad, dude, or whatever, right? Does that happen?
Yeah, I mean,
would you expect that?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that. I'm sure that Cash and G had a phone call or something. They had to have. There was no. I mean, it was. I've never seen that before. I don't think I have. But times are changing. It's what is new baseball.
Do you think?
Everything.
Do you think? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just go on. Just whapping
chatting?
my mouth. Yeah,
Just rambling.
Scrambling on.
Do you think not necessarily like GM player, but do you think infighting is good for teams? Do you the teams that you've been on where you've seen like a fight, has it brought the team together, or is it kind of tore them apart?
I would say you're going the tearing it apart route. I've seen it a few times. Yeah, so a couple times. Let me see. Yeah, a few times. Seen, and obviously me being one of them. So.
Yeah, well, the one time it was you, but
yeah,
another time that you saw. Have you ever seen it work out well? Because there's a theory out there that the whole, Cashman thing, the way he was speaking, he was standing up for his team.
Yeah.
And it kind of made him, hey, you know what? We're in our team's corner. We're in our guys' corner. We want everybody to produce.
Yeah.
And then kind of like maybe motivating G to get out there on the field. Has it ever worked when you've seen the fighting?
I mean, I don't know if like you want to call this like a fight, but obviously some kind of, something going on. But I think we're going to respond pretty well. After last year, I know a lot of us are pissed off. So, and it's sometimes, you back guys into a corner. It's no only when you coming out swinging. So, I know me and a lot of guys are definitely pretty pissed about last year. So it wasn't fun. I didn't have a great time. Obviously, I can admit it. It wasn't fun. And it's just kind of like how we're going to rebound. Obviously, maybe comments will help us. I don't know. I mean, it just depends on the player, the guy. You got to want it. So I know I'm excited. I want to get back. And it's December 6th. So I'm getting ready to go.
Do you think other guys want it as bad as you? Like, are there conversation? What does that look like? Are you calling somebody on December 6th and being like, I'm long tossing right now. I'm getting my whatever. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, like texting pretty much. I don't call anybody. I hate talking on the phone.
Dude, he's a green bubble guy. The only thing get a hold of him, right? Only if all the normal people with blue bubbles have it.
I love it. So yeah, I'll I haven't talked to everybody this offseason, I'm not gonna lie, but I know a lot of us, you go home in the offseason, you kind of just want to get out, and just get away, and that's about it. I know about a month went by, and I was like, all right, yeah, this has been fun, but obviously, I'm back into working out. I haven't started throwing yet. I think I'm going to start throwing here in about a week. Yeah, about a week. But get that going, and then I know everybody's pretty hungry right now. I've been talking to a lot of guys, and hopefully, that everybody's doing their stuff, getting ready to go. And obviously, I think a lot of us are going to be paying attention to what's going on these next couple days and within the week to see what's going on and see how we can improve the team and, get it going and hopefully bring in number 28. And that'd be great.
So if I say these words, tell me who I'm thinking of or who I'm talking about and how you feel about him right now. Big dumb animal, a free agent, World Series champion, left-handed pitcher. Would you like to have him back?
Oh, Monty? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love that guy. He is the best. That's why I haven't even talked. I haven't texted. I texted him after they won, and then I haven't kind of texted him since. But I know he's probably living life out there, and he's got this is a big week for him. So I'm excited to see what happens, see where he goes. Maybe he stays. I have no idea. Hopefully he comes to us. I really do. But we're going to find out in the next few days, I would assume. I mean, maybe I need to text him today. I want to see what's going on,
Give him the green bubble.
Oh, he's going to get the green bubble. He knows.
Yeah. He's living.
Oh, he knows.
He's living in Boston now. He's not that far from.
Yeah, that's right. I know he did
trip.
move. Yeah, that's right. They moved. I forgot that he moved to Boston. That's right.
Yeah, he married a smart kid.
I can't be going anywhere right now. Wife is she's pretty close for number 2 here, so gotta be within distance.
That was my next question. Are your fighter jets on high alert here?
Yeah.
Are you constantly looking at your green bubble phone?
Yep, pretty much.
Your BlackBerry?
Yeah, I mean, any now. So she's due the end of the month. So I mean, it could be any time within the next 3 weeks. Just got to be ready to go.
Are you putting on any baby weight?
Me? No. I've lost weight. Great stuff. Look at me.
Look at you,
Tommy. Yeah. December 30th is a great day to have a kid. I'm just saying.
Is that you? Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
love that. And it's a boy.
Not just me. Tiger Woods, LeBron James, me. Sandy Koufax, me. There's all these good ones. All these people you never heard of.
I love it. It's a good birthday then. I like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There you go. Plus you get a tax break because it's right before the New Year, so you claim that tax break, even though you didn't have to pay for them all year. Scott's looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You had me up until the tax break. Then I'm like,
you get a tax break.
You do?
You can claim another dependent. So you get a tax break.
Right, for the year.
Yeah,
Tommy's
for the whole
making
year.
millions of dollars. His child tax break is not going to be that much. He's fine.
Honey, here's the deal.
He can add another TV.
We need to plan this.
You can add on
so
to the
we
gaming
have a kid.
thing. I wish you can't see it with the setup, but I'm sure you would.
What's your game right now?
So actually, the new Warzone just came out today, so I'm going to play that tonight for sure.
What about GTA 6? Did that come out yet? Hasn't come out yet.
I saw the trailer was released today, but the game is released 2 more years.
Oh, geez. What happens?
Like 2025 release, so it's gonna be a while.
What happens if you're in the middle of a game of Warzone? Green bubbles pop up, and your wife's like, "I'm in labor." And you're in the middle of a heater of a game.
Down.
Really?
Shut it down.
Wow.
Headphones fly off. Exit. Probably leaving it on at this. I don't know. I might leave everything on.
You have changed. You have changed. You're drinking water like a steroid gym rat, and you're losing weight. Next thing you're going to tell me is you're not taking any of your pills before the game. The old caffeine pills.
I wish we had those. They're gone. I don't know where they went.
They don't have those anymore?
No. They disappeared like 2019. I was pissed off.
What is it, old coffee now?
Those things were legendary. I mean, yeah, you got to have the 2 large coffees, and usually I have like 2 accelerators a day. It's way less than what I used to do. Way less.
You have changed.
But way less. I mean, you think about it. What is that? I don't even want to think about the milligrams, to be honest. That's
so many milligrams. And you used to pop them out of the package. You used to take the packages that they had in our convenience store rack that was in there, and you would pop them out, and you had your own holder container.
Oh yeah.
For your caffeine pills.
Man, those things. They were like the E2. Oh yeah, E2 pills or something. They were.
It was a cool name.
Incredible. Don't even know how those were NSF. I have no idea, but they were.
Yeah. But they were.
They were.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know what? I was locked in all year. For 2 years, locked in.
All
right. So go ahead, Kratzy.
No. I was just gonna ask. So like during that time when you're skeeted out, now you're out on the mound, you give up a run. There's a theory that you do something after you finally give a run, which based on your career, you don't give up a lot of runs. You only give up 2 hits to your current Yankee teammates, but you're on the mound. You come in after the game. Do you still do the thing that you used to do after you give up a run?
Every time. You know that.
Every time.
You got to shave the whole body. It's all gone.
You're fully lathered up.
You've seen it.
Shaving cream.
He's seen me in there. He probably walked in on me too doing it. Everybody has. They have no idea what you're walking into.
The only thing you can see is from here all the way up to his eyes and his hair right there. That is the only thing that's not covered.
It's not covered in white shaving cream.
And you're kind of angry the whole time too when you're doing it. And I'm surprised you don't cut yourself, but you definitely are not prickly, and you could be cuddled up against after you do that.
Oh God. I do leave the legs alone.
We need more
I don't
background,
touch the legs. I don't touch the legs.
Oh, you don't shave the legs?
No touch the legs. Everything else is gone.
So where
does it like waist up? Because
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
There's like a fine line there.
Legs else is gone. I don't touch the legs. Okay. Everything else is gone.
Okay.
Brazilian. Everything else is gone.
The legs.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
I don't even know. I just started doing it. Man, it was probably first couple of years in the minors. I just started doing it. I don't know. I just kept doing it. You know how weird we are. We do the strangest shit when we don't do well.
Kahnle cleansing.
Oh God, I like that. I'm gonna start calling it that. I like that.
Yeah, it's your cleansing period. You know, some people do like the juice cleansing. You just do the less body hair. Yeah. And then do you feel like fresh and free? Like, all right, I got that shit out of my system. New Kahnle for the next round here.
Oh yeah, 100%. You gotta get rid of all that bad juju. Get it off you. Get it out.
All right, so I got to ask AJ this because this is the Tommy Kahnle thing. When you put your uniform on, did you put it on the same way?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Bro, listen. I did a lot more than just shaving my body after shit went down,
No.
okay?
I'm saying
Oh, no, I did everything from the moment I woke up until the moment I went to bed the same. There was no like, I put my uniform on exactly the same every day. Listen, I took my clothes off the same way. I put my stuff in my locker the same way. I put my clothes on, my uniform on, shoes on the same way. Left shoe always first before right shoe. Oh, trust me, I did put my gear on the same way my whole career. Took my gear off and set it the same. Oh, we've talked about this, Tommy. We talked about it before, but I've told two people the whole thing, and it takes like 4 hours to explain what I used to do before every game. But it wasn't weird to me. It was just the thing.
No,
it was nothing you would notice if you didn't know. So I would just do it.
So the reason I asked that, because I knew that you put it. What's the first thing you put on? What are the first two things you put on? Because then I'm going to ask Tommy the first two things he puts on, and then he doesn't like complete it. But anyway, go ahead. What are the first two things?
Well, I always put my sliding shorts on and then my jock. Those were the first two.
Tommy?
It was auto.
Me? First thing out? Oh, right to the locker. First thing on, towel down, hat, socks.
He puts both socks on and his hat on, and like there's a pause. There's like a moment there where you're sitting there like, Tommy, nobody, like, I get it. Like I get the socks.
Yeah.
I get the socks before
the sliders. It's so hard to get long sliders over the socks. It's impossible. Or when you don't have socks on, you're trying to put sliders on and they just get stuck in your foot. I hate that. So you got to put the socks on.
Are you serious?
First.
I mean, what? Socks are like the last thing you put on because they're hot.
Wow. Second thing. So you go hat, nothing else.
Why do you put your hat on though? You got to put your shirt on over your hat.
I do. Put shirt right on over the hat.
Hat forward?
Oh yeah, forward.
Oh yeah,
right away.
So you sit in your locker with your hat on.
I'm standing.
He stands.
Then I kneel
around. He talks to people like this is normal. Literally has his hat on, and just his hat on, like he's worried about his hair. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
That's
all right. That's all right.
We learned a lot today.
You get through the whole getting dressed routine. Sometimes I feel like I mess something up and I like panic. I go, oh shit. I think I just put something on before something else, and I like kind of put everything back and then do it all over again. It's just it's the worst.
But see, as a relief pitcher, you can do that. But as a position player, you're like, if you think you screwed up, you just go with it. And then if you go like 0 for 4, you're like, oh, it wasn't my fault. It was the fact that I didn't get dressed properly. Tomorrow will be a better day.
Yep.
Relief pitcher, he gives up a run. He goes, don't touch the legs. Everything else is clean. Let's go tomorrow, boys. Socks,
ready to roll.
hat. I'm down with it.
Yankees love that. They love shaving. That's their thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Tommy.
So it actually works perfect. He's the perfect Yankee.
Being the sports junkie that you are.
Oh, yeah.
What would it mean if the Yankees come back this year and you guys win the World Series?
Oof, wow. So I know for just the city and the fans, I know that it would mean a lot, like a lot. Just the fans in general, I know, are just like dying to win again. That's just how it is in New York. And growing up, I mean, I saw it. I didn't like the Yankees growing up, obviously, but sitting around, all my friends are all Yankee fans. Family's Yankee fans. Their family is Yankee fans. So I've experienced the Yankees my entire life, and I know for a fact if we go and we win, and it's the city would probably explode. So I know for me and my teammates too, obviously, like that'd be the best moment in my like professional or just baseball history, to be honest, my baseball career, without a doubt. I mean, that's number one. I've always wanted to win a World Series. That's my number one goal. And just to do it, especially in pinstripes, the team that drafted me would mean so much to me. It would be incredible. It really would.
Who would it mean the most to? After you, because you can only, say for yourself. Who in that locker room would it mean the most to?
I think just everybody. I mean, I don't know if anybody can solely mean more than the other, but I know if that goes down, we win. There's so many guys in there that, you know, have tried for so long. I mean, it just to get it done would be incredible. I mean, it really would. It's so awesome to watch guys, you know, win like we did this year. You know, it sucks to be at home, but like, you know, you're watching them celebrate, and it's just, you want that. You want to be a part of that. You want your teammates to be a part of that. You want your staff to be a part of that. You want everybody to be a part of it. Your family. It's just, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to win a World Series. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's going to mean a lot if we get the job done this year. That's all I know.
All right. This is going to be your one quick good teammate, bad teammate question. See if you're a good teammate or not. All right. You ready?
Got it. I'm ready to roll.
Who's the longest tenured Yankee right now on the current roster?
Is this like active service, or is this like time with the Yankees? And this is minor leagues too.
Time with the Yankees.
Just time with. This is including minor leagues, or no?
Sure.
Oh, then it's Higashioka.
Yeah, you're a great teammate. See, I knew you. You would know.
That was my guy. I've been playing with him since 2010. Long time.
Wow.
14 years, the same organization.
Oh, yeah. Whew. I don't know.
One for one on the quiz.
How incredible is that?
And then
there can't
you
be too many
it
guys you see that stood around with the same organization for that long. I mean, it's hard to do.
He's going to be on the show next week, too, so it's ironic that you brought him.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Even Joey Votto's not going to be a Red for life if he wants to play again. He's not going back.
That's true.
If he comes back, he's going somewhere else. Tommy, awesome to catch up with you, dude. We missed you. Enjoy it's great talking to you. Enjoy Warzone. Obviously, fingers crossed for the the moment, so that you're not in the game and you're not thriving and then you got to go. But if you do, it's fine. Yeah. Cheers, man. We'll talk to you later this offseason. All right.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome being out here with you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
We love it. Thanks, Tommy. Cheers, man.
Dude, he's got the whole setup. He's got keyboards over here. He's probably got like 6 screens he plays on.
He's got it souped up down there. That's a very solid cave he's got going.
When a child gets a contract, that's what their basement will look like. Tommy is, like I always say, like when rednecks get money, it's fun because you're like, oh, that's so awesome. He bought like thousands more acres, like a tractor, that kind of thing. Like Wade Miley, every contract he gets another tractor or a truck.
And a cow.
And a cow. He used to get cows. Yeah, not as much anymore. But Tommy's a child. So he probably has the greatest setup for gaming. I mean, you saw the TVs back there.
Can we bring it back on now?
No.
Can we bring it back on now? Because he's still listening.
He probably has like Skittles and like some type of like Twizzler candy dispenser too.
Nope. He cut weight.
He's in the water and he's drinking all the water. What
apples.
Tommy cutting weight just means he does the warrior diet. So he probably doesn't eat till 12 and he's done at 6. So whatever he does it to the extreme. And that's what I love about Tommy K.
He's a great guest. That was a good one. All right, let's get back to free agent talk for everyone right now. Spreading rumors.
Ooh. We need music with that.
John Heyman said, a clubhouse source says, Ohtani said he couldn't see himself playing in New York. And I'm going to just add on here. So that's one. You had Jed Hoyer getting into it with our guy Bob Nightingale. We'll ask about that exchange.
First of all, the Yankees and Mets haven't even been mentioned with Ohtani, so great. But I mean, they're not.
Yeah, but there's a reason why. That takes 2 to tango. So if Ohtani didn't want to play in New York, then they're not pursuing him because he said no. Right?
I mean, or maybe they got Verdugo and they're out. I don't know. The Mets are too busy flying to Japan to see Yamamoto.
I don't think any of that. I think this was the first domino, and I think he ruled teams out. I think that's pretty clear.
But nobody knows because he never freaking talks.
Well, on that note, so you had Nightingale saying the Cubs are out, Jed Hoyer going up to Bob and chewing him out, probably over that, but we'll get the tea at some point from Bob. who I think doubled down even after that and still said, "Yep, Cubs are out."
Yeah.
Hey, it's not his job to please the Cubs front office. If he has someone that has told him that he trusts that the Cubs are out, he is going to do his job and report it. And I give him credit for that. Then you have the Dodgers situation with Ohtani, which included Dave Roberts just saying, "Yo, I'm getting asked questions. I'm going to be real about it." And he said that they spoke. And he just said like very basic stuff. They spoke. They like him. He's their top priority. Nothing crazy by any means. But the GM of the Dodgers, because remember, Andrew Friedman's the POBA, the president of baseball operations. The GM is Brandon Gomes. He spoke later about it and said, yeah, like Dave made a comment, and then they asked him if they think it would hurt their pursuit. And he said, quote, "I have no idea." Apparently the Dodgers PR was talking to Doc. Apparently there's been a report even since that Friedman and Dave Roberts talked it out. Dude, this sounds like second grade shit.
Who cares, dude? Yeah, Dave Roberts said great things. He's like, yeah, we met with him. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we use our first priority. Yeah, no shit, Dave.
Yeah, and we hope he comes there. And
yeah, no kidding.
I'm still his fucking manager, and I'm allowed to talk about a player nicely and say almost nothing. Let's relax here.
This is all from Shohei's. Excuse me. This is all from Shohei's camp.
Correct.
By them not saying anything or saying who or what they're doing or where they're at and all this, that's the problem. It's all from their camp. If they would just come out and say, we've met with this team, this team, and this team, everyone would be like, the fans of those teams would be like, yeah, we got a chance.
My thing is take one step even back from that. I don't even need anything from you. You don't owe us anything. That's fine. The only thing I have a problem with is anybody in that camp telling teams if you say something, we'll punish you for it. That's too much. That's what we've said the whole time here. And that's what causes stuff like this with the Dodgers. Guy who's been a loyal employee for a long time, who's innocently saying almost nothing, and it becomes a story. I mean, sure, some people could say, well, look, we're talking about it. Well, we would talk about it anyway. I just think the fact that we need to hear from front office people and they're not sure and they've got to talk it out with Doc. Doc, do you, man? I mean, you're doing nothing wrong. He's being a guy that has a legacy, a reputation. He manages a bunch of superstars. He doesn't want to go out in front of the media and be like, oh, I have to be super soft about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to go back into the Dodgers clubhouse
this year. In the spring earlier today on the show
and talk to Freddie and Mookie and maybe Clayton if he's back and all these guys. And instead, imagine if he came out yesterday, Kratz, and he was like, I can't say anything. I don't want to talk. I'm going to make up something about it. Like he just was being a normal dude. And I think people respect that.
100%. They respect it and they can connect with it. Like that's why people watch shows like our show. That's why people watch games or follow guys on Twitter or Instagram. They want to have a connection. And to me, what Doc did, he was just being honest during, they asked him. So he's like, yeah, whatever. Like we talked to him. Great conversation. He's an elite player. Like he didn't say anything. He wasn't like, yeah, this guy's a turd and I don't like his dog. I met his dog. Like nothing out of the ordinary. And listen, very seldom do players get to hold teams hostage. But when you make it to free agency, essentially when you are a really good player, you get to hold teams hostage. And when you are Shohei Ohtani, the best player that we will see in free agency in our generation, you get to hold teams hostage. So the whole quiet, don't tell anybody, just part of the ploy. He doesn't need to tell anybody. I'm in the camp of, you know what? This is your time to shine. Wherever you're going there for 10 years. If there is anything that makes you feel like, wait a minute, this guy stabbed me in the back. Is he going to keep stabbing me in the back for the next 10 years? But what Doc said, it's good. Shohei's not going to watch that and be like, oh, nope, Dodgers are out. I don't want to play in the World Series for the next 6 years straight. No, nothing's going to. Now, maybe the Giants, they might need to keep their lips shut. Maybe, teams that are kind of on the fringe that are, if Jed Hoyer still thinks the Cubs are in on it, maybe they need to keep their mouth shut. But the Dodgers, they're playing with house money here. They're going to the playoffs. It's just a matter of, are they going to the playoffs with Shohei Ohtani for the next 10 years or not?
And here is the clarification because, we're on a show and things come out. from front office people speaking. Jack Harris, who covers the Dodgers. Andrew Freeman said he and Dave Roberts had a good conversation following Roberts' comments about the Ohtani meeting. Freeman acknowledged he was surprised by Roberts' comments, but it seems like whatever tension there was yesterday has been worked out. Now I've got infighting based off this.
Stupid.
No.
Stupid. They're going to sign. Once they sign
Ohtani did nothing wrong. And I'm like, listen, I have to.
Here's what Ohtani did wrong.
We fucking love Ohtani. He's a unicorn. He's one of the best players ever, right? He's on the field. He's incredible. Sure, he doesn't have to offer any info. No one's asking for that. But there are multiple really, really good insiders who have information from teams who have said that essentially his team threatened, Ohtani's team threatened teams saying, don't say shit or we hold it against you. So him or his camp did do something, right? Not making a huge deal out of it. Teams are making a huge deal out of it. The Dodgers have to have internal combos with Doc Roberts to say, lie to everyone and don't say anything. That's all we're pointing out here. We're a show. We can do that. Again, love Ohtani. Want him to thrive. Be on a playoff team. Huge fans of him. We talk about him every other day during the season and the amazing shit that he does. We're just talking about this situation and how it's turned into elementary school fighting within teams saying, don't say this, don't say that. Ross Atkins, be in front of a blank canvas behind you so no one knows what you are.
Stupid. All right, let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, it is stupid.
This is too much.
All right, real stuff. Ready? So it sounds like Craig Kimbrel probably is going to be the closer of the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
Well, Felix Bautista is
I know, but then
Cano
did okay, struggled a little bit at the end, but
okay. Well, Cano could be. Well, no, they're going to give it to him. They're going to give him the chance to close. Kimbrel and Cano can set up.
But yeah, listen. I love Craig. He's a great dude. Yeah, good for him. He found another place, but you know, it's a high wire act with old Dirty Craig.
Yeah, of course it is.
So you know, when the guy gets on second, he drops the ball so the guy can go to third. Like there's some things there, you know. And again, I love Craig, and he took the brunt of it from Philly fans there, towards the end. But I mean, he's been a great reliever with a lot of saves, and got a chance to do it again and add on to it. So good for Craig and good for the Orioles. But to me, this is like, okay.
Really?
To me, if Hader would mean more to me.
Of course, but he's not going to Baltimore. They're not paying.
Why not?
They
won the AL East.
0%.
Okay, I know, but what they say? I thought it said $9 million for Kimbrel. That's not chump change. I thought that's what I read.
Yeah, but you know what Hader's going to get? Hundo plus.
Listen, I'm happy for Craig, and I want him to do well. I'm not saying that at all. But to me, this isn't a. To me, the Orioles had enough depth in their bullpen to cover the loss of Bautista. I know Bautista was special, right? To me, they're still looking for the starters. That starter. Right? Whoever that starter guy is. Because they lost Gibson. They lost Flaherty, who they traded for, right? I mean, I know Kramer had a good year. And Bradish had a good year. And Means is coming back. But to me, they need that veteran, put me over the top guy. And that hasn't. Yeah. I mean, Kimbrel's a nice piece, but he's not the piece to me.
Well, that's their whole goal. I think that's the only thing, Kratz, that Orioles fans and the team is really seeking this offseason is, can they trade for someone like Cease or maybe Burns if he's available? Isn't that really what everyone's banking on for them?
Banking on, yes. But, I mean, they can go and get a starter. I think they may go and get Giolito, whether that's the right play or not. I think his market might come down to where the Orioles could spend if they're going to go free agency. They can get one of those trade pieces. But I really like this move for the Orioles. I think it is an opportunity for them to solidify the closing role, whether you think it's a high wire act or not. The dude almost had 100 punch outs last year in 60 some innings. Yes, he does walk guys. Yes, he gives up hits. Yes, it's a 19 to 30 pitch outing when he's out there, but he punches dudes out. And Cano had an unbelievable year, but you cannot put a predominant ground ball pitcher generally in the closer role. So I don't think they had a closer. I really like this move for the Orioles. Now, if this is the only move that the Orioles make, or if this was February 3rd and they haven't added anybody, then yes, I'm like you, AJ, meh. But I really think they're going to add somebody. I really think that they're going to add one free agent piece, and I think they're going to get one of the three, Cease, Burns, or Glass now.
I don't see Glass now.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't see.
I don't know if I see Cease. Maybe, but
No, Cease could. Cease is under $10 million this year. You got to think money with Baltimore. Baltimore.
Here's the problem I have with that whole thing. Baltimore can afford it.
Well, that's why I just clarified.
Like,
Matt said, they can't afford the big names, and I said they can afford. They won't pay the big names. They have very clearly drawn a line though. They're not paying $20 million plus.
They have the money pitching if they want to.
Of course.
John Angelos just doesn't want to spend it.
He pays himself a ton of money. I'm just saying. The only reason I said Glass now is number one, he's making 25 next year, and two, most importantly, he's on the Rays. I mean, the Rays and Orioles could be competing for
Rays
the
aren't
division.
going to trade him in the division.
I don't think they would do that. But the others, yes.
Imanaga.
No,
Imanaga.
Too expensive. For Orioles?
Yes.
No.
I have only because I have him in like the $50 to $55 million range. It would be like who did the Marlins sign? It didn't work out for him.
Oh man. I know who you're talking about.
He came from the Orioles.
Yeah, and he was already in the bigs. Gosh, man, you forget names so quickly. I do.
Anyway,
I know
who
you're
you're
talking about.
Yeah, I feel like Imanaga is a guy. It could be a 4-year. Like, think about the window that they have before they get rid of Gunnar Henderson, before they get rid of Jackson Holiday, before they get rid of Adley Rutschman. It's a 4-year window, essentially, that the Orioles have right now because they're not going to sign anybody.
Chen.
Wei-Yin Chen. Wei-Yin Chen.
Wei-Yin Chen. Yeah, he was on Baltimore. He was good on Baltimore and then kind of collapsed.
And I think he'll give them innings, and I think he'll give them.
No, not happening. They won't do it.
Too expensive. Crack it off on money. Sorry, I'm going hard after you right now, but too expensive. Imanaga's getting more than Imanaga's closer to a hundo.
I have Imanaga way less than that.
Okay.
With the posting fee, I have
on top of that
72. I think he's more like a $50 to $55 million range pitcher,
which would then cost you 70 something, right?
Right.
So my thing is, I think he's closer to a hundo. So I think the total amount it'll cost a team is at least about $100 million. No way Baltimore does that. It's my bet.
We'll see. Mm-hmm.
I think it's the trade market. It's perfect for them. Hey, we've got assets.
On my sheet.
Write it down.
It's all right.
Might have to do it.
Here's my sheet.
It's pretty empty. And thank you, everyone. And yes, if you do have a few questions on the way out, we will take them during slap hands. So let's go to money moves, though. So we do have some news.
We do?
On the Oakland A's.
Oh, this is big. I love this.
Didn't you want to cover this?
Oh, this is amazing to me. I'm here for the petty stuff. And this is as petty as it gets.
This is big money petty, though.
This is petty, and I freaking am here for the pettiness.
Where do I even start with this?
Before we hit the pettiness, you said, give me $500 million, and I'll show you what I do with it. Mm-hmm. How many dinners would AJ buy, Scott, if you had $500 million? 0.
You know why? Zero, double zero. You know why? We can't eat the same stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He can't eat dairy food.
Don't
you can only have water and energy drinks apparently in my house. No. So, I mean, I'm gonna go get some nice sushi, a big steak.
Paleo.
You know what Scott can have?
Steak and sushi.
Water.
Steak and sushi.
That's steak and sushi. Go-tos on the road. You just named them.
You guys are
just picked like the foods that I eat.
You can't have rice.
Stepbrothers. You guys are brothers.
Rice. I eat rice every day.
You can't have rice. There's gluten in it.
We have to do some education. Eventually, after X amount of shows,
I'm going to get a cheeseburger. Scott can't have it.
I can't do a cheeseburger. I can do a burger.
With a bun.
All right, ready for this? Scott Osler, who was recently on the show, writes for the San Francisco Chronicle, has absolute fire about the Oakland A's, said that John Fisher owes $45 million as part of a deal where he bought land through Oakland, and he's going to be getting a phone call from county council as they will inform him that the $45 million will be due by mid-May. He owes this as part of an $85 million purchase of a half interest in the site of the Oakland Coliseum. That final payment initially wasn't due until early 2026. The timeline changes because they said in that deal, which was done in 2019, and it sounds like the A's basically forced them into that deal, saying like, if we're staying, then we get to own land, because most teams now are really real estate owners. That's how they cash out on owning teams, okay? But in that deal, there was a clause stating the entire balance would come due within 180 days of the A's announcement of their relocation out of Oakland. So was there an announcement? Seems to me like there was an announcement, right? They informed the county. They announced to everyone that it was approved by ownership. So they said the clock starts on November 16th, when that all became official in their mind, and that there's no vote for that or anything. Like, they're just going to call them and say, hey, dude, $45 million, go for it. There is an option too, where they, at least in the article, he said maybe Fisher tries to get out of the what
they said was he'd donate it. He'd just be like, all right, I'm $40 million in the hole.
Really?
That was one of the options. They're like, if John Fisher was a nice guy, he could just donate it back.
That's insane.
Well, that was in the article, though.
No, in the article here, I got it pulled up. They said, or Fisher could simply ask out of the deal, take back the $40 million he has already paid when he bought the county's share on the pretense he was rooted in Oakland, and get the hell out of the way of the development of the Coliseum site, which they're going to try and utilize for something else, obviously, now.
But there was also another part of the article that said he could donate it. He could like give it as a nice gesture to him leaving and what they've done for him. So
I got to go throw up.
Yeah, exactly. This is but what also is great in that article, they're like, he doesn't have $45 million lying around. So he's going to have a hard time. That's why they're sticking it to him. That's why I'm for all this pettiness. Like, they're like, oh, you didn't. And now there's going to be like lawsuits because he's going to say, well, I haven't officially announced it. But when the owners vote on it, guess what? That pretty much announces it. He says it. He informs them. I mean,
what else do you need? If you're in a court and they try and say, oh, well, we haven't really announced it yet, I think you're going to lose that case.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially also going up against the city.
I think this is great. This is one last fuck you from Oakland to John Fisher. They're like, fuck you, dude. Give us our money. And I can't wait to see how this plays out, because he bought this thinking, oh, I'm gonna get something out of it, and then they haven't done anything with it, and so now he's like kind of caught in a pickle here.
He's like, I'm gonna get rich off the land, because it sounds like they kind of forced them into that. So there you go.
I love it. Kratz, you don't like this? I love this. I think it's awesome.
We're gonna have to cut payroll. I'm just trying to figure out where you can find $45 million from cutting the payroll
from 17 down. What is it? 17 last year?
I'm telling you. Can I predict what's gonna happen here? Settlement. He gets maybe some money back on the land deal and forfeits the land, and or their share, or whatever he has in the land, so that he's completely separated from that. Trust me, you don't want him involved in anything in general, but especially in something with Oakland when just screwed over the city and he's leaving. You want him involved. That's the ultimate punch in the face. Hey, I'm leaving and I still own a portion of the land there, and I'm gonna be involved in that project. That's not what you want. So I see this as leverage for the county to get him to give that back. What do you think?
Yeah, this is all leverage. This is all power play, but it's also petty, which I freaking love.
It's due now.
It's $45 million. That's just like, oh, ho hum. So when you talk about like teams and their money, like, it's hard to put it in perspective. But when you're giving guys that haven't made the big leagues yet $80 million, $24 million on a whim, and you have a $45 million, I don't even know what this would be called, like unpaid land dues. Like, this is the kind of money that these people are. They're. It's like Scrooge McDuck. If you know who Scrooge McDuck is, he's just swimming through his money.
Also, just like, I'll reiterate this, we said it earlier, he's fine. He's rich. He's super rich. He's a billionaire. And he's earned 0 pennies of it. He's on third base. Thought he hit a triple. He'll be fine. They'll settle this. But it's just, it is petty. It's fun to at least say, hey, it's due right now. So more drama. Obviously, we will keep you posted. We are covering the A's as much as anyone, doing our best for the people. Let's slap. All right, I've got a couple fan questions in here on the finish line. Ryan, big fan of the show. I agree with Scott's point from earlier about Glasnow being a fit with Atlanta. What do you think about the Jays' big move if they miss out on Shohei Ohtani? Because also, it sounds like Soto to the Yankees going to happen soon. I thought that would have been a great fit for Toronto. They need offense, stack up that lineup. Window of opportunity could be closing for them with this current group, with Vladdy and Bo and some of their pitchers older.
What about a Bellinger?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. There's not a ton of free agent guys out there. It's kind of why
we're trades, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, who's a bat? People aren't trading bats.
I think if they miss out on Shohei, the Blue Jays miss out on Shohei, I think Mitch Garver. I know it's not crazy, but I think that's the market.
You miss out on Shohei, you go for Mitch Garver.
I'm saying
that's their backup plan.
I don't think they're in.
I love Mitch Garver, but Shohei, Mitch Garver doesn't exactly.
I think they're where they go is going to be much lower. I think they have Shohei or bust. And I think it's because I don't think they need lineup. Their lineup should be really good. It's not like the question marks that you have with other teams that are getting older and their lineup should be good, or their lineup was good years ago. It was just this season that we were saying that this lineup was going to be absolute gas. And
Bellinger fits. Because they lost Kiermaier.
But I think the unicorn budget thing is in play, where they're not going to spend like that on a player unless it's Shohei. I believe in that.
Yeah, but Kiermaier is gone. He was their center fielder. Yeah. They don't have a center fielder built in. That's why.
No, they do. Varsho's moving to center, which is good for it. That's good for him though, because the bat wasn't playing that well. You put it in center, the bat plays better, and he'll hit better. I agree.
Okay, well,
but still, you need corner power. It was like Soto.
Yeah, Ohtani.
I don't
know. I don't think there is. I don't know if there is a move. I mean,
Lourdes Gurriel, have they ever played there?
Teoscar Hernandez, they could try him again.
I think that's possible. We had someone on. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Caitlin McGrath said that could be a reunion. I like Mitch Garver. I agree. I'm sorry. Like he just was on a World Series winning team. 134 OPS plus, 500 slugging, 344 batting average against lefties. One of the best in the biz.
What do you do with Alejandro Kirk?
What do you mean?
Catch.
Where's Mitch Garver playing there, homie?
Oh, DH. He shouldn't really catch much anymore, Mitch. He gets hurt a lot.
He's got that knee thing that,
DH third catcher, like 20 starts at catcher or less.
You got Danny Jansen, too.
That's my point, though. Mitch is DH. And if you're talking on that front, JD Martinez.
Yeah.
If you start going down that route, Jorge
Soler.
No?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with all those things you just said, except
another force in the lineup.
They had the best pitching last year. They had great pitching last year.
Yeah. So good question, though. Appreciate that. Matthew said Orioles should go after Martin Perez, Paxton, Kluber, Cueto, Monty. It's a big difference. Stroman. Okay. I guess it was more of a statement than a question.
So they're just filling out the back end of the rotation? Like going after those guys.
Yeah.
Besides Monty.
Those are big leaguers. Right. We already established the whole Monty thing, but those guys are big leaguers, but is that what you're looking for? You're looking to fill out your rotation? Because then you're essentially just in the same spot you were last year, and you're saying we're going to get an uptick from Bradish. John Means is going to come back to be a veteran type of arm, the guy that he was, all-star before, coming off of Tommy John surgery. But like, if you're just looking to fill out the rest of the rotation, I guess they should have just signed Kyle Gibson back.
Yeah.
True.
I think they need someone at the top, towards the top.
I
love Bradish. I agree. I'm saying upper echelon guy with that group, with the top group. Okay.
Bradish is the top. Bradish, to me, you're moving forward. It's the top. You're not platooning with Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. Like you're not saying, okay, Bradish, like we're going to bring in somebody that's going to be the number one over you. No, I think you cater this to being Bradish's. He's your guy moving forward.
That's fine. He's your one, Cease is your two. That's my example. Something like that is, I think, what they're looking for. All right. So So two things. One, we'll be back on around 7 o'clock Eastern time, maybe sooner if something happens. And lastly, Juan Soto, we've been hearing about it all day, even in the morning. It's basically sounded like it's happening, right? It sounds like the posturing and negotiating continues, but it's going to happen. It sounds like Michael King and Drew Thorpe will be the prizes in that deal, which I will say this. There's some people that if you're into what you saw from Michael King at the end of the season and you like Drew Thorpe, who is a pretty good pitching prospect, and then you're going to get maybe one or two other pieces, that's pretty good return. I think that's better than most people thought that the Padres were going to get like a month ago. And maybe that's the one thing that I can try and hold over Ken when I bring him back on, because most people were like, oh, they're not going to get anything close to the return that they dished out to the Nats like a year and a half ago. Yes, but it's pretty good return. I think it's more than most people thought. I think people were looking too much at like the Mookie Betts situation, and again, not realizing that $48 million also was exchanged in that deal to dump the Price contract. You know?
We know.
Yeah.
So
cool. Happy
Soto
birthday,
to the
Jose
Yanks.
Contreras, by the way.
You're not excited about that? Juan Soto's 25.
I'll be excited when it
One
happens.
of the best when it happens. Okay.
I said yesterday, no team needs it more than the Yankees need it right now.
Yeah.
That's why the deal's going to get done.
Be a massive boost. Their offense was not good last year. This is the guy. And so good for them for getting aggressive on it. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. So we got a few hours, Yanks and Padres, and anyone else that wants to do anything, because most of the people are leaving Nashville, and we had more action here in Florida. So Kratz, I'll see you tonight.
We'll see you tonight. But
Kratz hats.
we got to, of course, I'm going to wear this because this might be the last time that you see Juan Soto in a Padres hat. And me and Juan Soto look a lot alike. So I just want to make sure the fans knew that it was me wearing my Juan Soto hat.
Right. There you go. A lot of love for your boy.
We don't look a
Yankee
lot
hat
alike.
tonight.
Facially, we hit a lot alike. Like a lot of people said I was a Juan Soto from the right side.
I think you should get the Caratini deal, but that's just me. We'll see you tonight.